Hey guys, it's Jan here from Flicks and the City, and I cannot tell you just how excited I am to be here today with my new mate, Baymax. Yes, we're here to find out all about Disney's new movie, which is inspired by Marvel Comics. It's called Big Hero 6, and it's full of humour, it's full of heart, and it's full of high-octane action. So join me to find out more. Let's fist bump, Baymax.
Hello, I am Baymax. Tadashi programmed me to heal the sick and injured. You will be all right.
Don, it's lovely to see you here today to talk about Big Hero 6. It's one of those movies which is a beautiful kind of combination of lots of different things. It's a mashup of Disney and Marvel. We've got East meets West in there. We've got high-tech robots meets human beings. Yep. What was it about it that made it pop for you?
Well, it really came out of the childhood passion of loving Disney and loving Marvel, and the thought of mashing those two ideas up together. And when I found Big Hero 6, I really sparked to the comic because I just loved the characters. I thought they were very fun. And I love the sort of Japanese aesthetic to it. And but more importantly, I think what we saw is that there could be a really emotional story here about this 14-year-old super genius who loses his older brother, and the older brother's robot becomes sort of a surrogate big brother or a healer. And so it had a lot of great elements to it, but most importantly, it was the emotion. Now, you mentioned the characters there, and they're fantastic characters in the film. Which one do you see yourself as being most like, and which one would you actually like to be, and why? Yeah, I am the most like Fred because he's such a big comic book nerd, and that's definitely me. Fred reminds me of when I was a kid back home and we would get lost playing superhero in the backyard, and that's how Fred is approaching being a superhero in this movie. So I am a lot like Fred. I wish I was more like Go Go. I think Go Go's she's so cool. Yeah, she's so cool, and I would love to be Go Go. Definitely. I love her woman up line as well. Now, if you could mash anything else up, if you could do any other meeting of different worlds, what would you love to actually bring together next, if you could do anything? Do anything? Yeah. Maybe London, and let's see. London and maybe Shanghai? That'd be kind of cool. Interesting mashup. I don't know what we call it. Shangdon? Shangdon. We call it
That's
Shangdon.
Much better than Lunchai. Obviously now we've got the first animated superhero movie from Disney. Now it makes me think, I wonder if there could be other animated movies, like, for example, Star Wars. Now if someone said to you, what would you think about doing an animated Star Wars movie? What would you say, Don?
Well, I'd probably, you'd have to pick me up off the floor because I was such a Star Wars fan as a kid. But what's interesting, what would give me pause is they have such an established world already going in live action with the Star Wars films, and Marvel had such an established world already going in the live action Marvel films. And so with Big Hero 6, it's very unique in that very early on, Marvel encouraged us to make this our own. They said, don't worry about setting it in the Marvel universe, create your own universe. So that there was an amazing amount of freedom in that. So it would be tough to duplicate that, but that's why I really enjoyed making Big Hero 6.
And of course, everyone loves the film. It opened in America to wide critical acclaim. Word of mouth was great. Box office was fantastic. It's opening in the UK soon. I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same situation. Everyone loves it here. So we want to know, what are the chances that we're going to see a sequel? Because at the end of the movie, we feel we want to see more of these characters.
Well, it's very gratifying to hear that. Currently, we have we haven't talked about it at all. Just because we just finished making the movie in October when it came out. It came out in November, actually, in the States. And then we've been promoting it. We've been going around the world and trying to get the word out there. So we really haven't had a lot of time to think about it or talk about it. And after we're done with this promotional tour, we're going to take some very long vacations, and then we'll get back together and we'll talk about it. And we really do fall in love with these characters over the course of making. They become very real to us, and so the thought of spending more time with them is not an unappealing thought.
I mean, if you could have anything happen in that world in future, what would you love to see happen? Where would you love to see them go? Who would you like to see in there? I mean, because obviously we've got the ending, we've got two different cards going on, haven't we? That Baymax can be different different types of Baymax.
Oh, you're talking in the portal? Yeah, that's so funny you bring that up because my kids have been pitching me sequel ideas to Big Hero 6. And it revolves around Dark Baymax coming out of the portal to fight good Baymax. So it seems like the children of the world want to see a battle between the Baymaxes, so I suppose we would have to deliver that.
That sounds like a great idea. I'd love to see that. Definitely take up your kids' pitch there. If you could bring any other comic book characters to life or any other comic book series, who would you love to see on the big screen animated?
Yeah, that's a tough question, really, because I feel like we kind of did it with Big Hero 6, and we, if anything, I would rather see more adventures out of Big Hero 6 because I felt like, we just developed this universe and this world, and it's so rich, and there's so many places to go with it. So it's hard to say for me, and also because the Marvel guys are doing such an amazing job in live action with their world and their universe, and I'm such a fan of those. So, it's hard for me to say.
I mean, going forward, what kind of breakthroughs would you love to see happen in animations? I know you had a lot on this movie, Hyperion, Denizen, and other things that really helped you push forward the visuals and the feel of the story and the emotions, didn't you? What would you like to see happen next going forward that we could really make a difference to, take animation to, can't believe it, there'd be another level after this?
Boy, that's a hard one to say too, because I felt like, it's hard right now, having just finished this film, to open my mind up and see what else we could do, because I feel like we can do anything, and we're at such a creative renaissance at Disney, both artistically but also technically. And anything, as a director, anything I can imagine can happen. And we have an amazing group of artists and technicians that will make it happen. So the desire of mine to have a really rich cinematic, look to this thing, they put their heads together and came up with a program that could deliver it. And so, it's hard to say other than really the sky's the limit.
And finally, Easter eggs in the movie are always a big thing, aren't they? And there's some brilliant ones in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. I wonder what your personal favourite is, though, and what in future in any film would you love there to be an Easter egg for? What would it be?
Well, Fred's room has a lot of Easter eggs in them, and some sort of really obscure Marvel characters are in Fred's room that you have to look really close to see. And so I love the fact that we threw in some really obscure Marvel characters there. And what would I want to see as an Easter egg? That's an interesting question. Well, my favorite animated film is Dumbo or Peter Pan. So if somehow you could work Dumbo or Peter Pan into one of these CG animated films as an Easter egg, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Fantastic. Don, it's been lovely talking to you. Thanks so much for your time. And congratulations on Big Hero 6. It's a wonderful movie.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.